Yes, we are going to discuss about auditor's remuneration. As we already discussed about the appointment of auditor and the removal of auditor. On the basis of different situations, the board of directors, the shareholders and the central government have rights for their appointment and for their removal. In the same manner, the auditor's remuneration is going to be decided on the basis of different situation, and it is totally based upon its appointment. When the authorized person going to appoint auditor, then the same person have a right for the remuneration of auditor. First one, if the auditor is appointed by board of director, then board of director have right or they will decide the remuneration of auditor who is appointed by him. Then after second one, that is members. Members will decide the remuneration. Here we are talking about the members of the organization. They are our shareholders. When shareholders are going to decide or when they are going to appoint auditor, so they have a right to decide the remuneration of the same. Then after the third one, if the auditor is appointed by the central government, then the central government has a right to fix the remuneration of auditor. Then after, if there is a reappointment of the retiring auditor in the AGM, so at that time he will get the same remuneration as he was getting in his previous term. So there will be no change in the remuneration of retiring auditor if he is reappointed. Then after, if there are expenses that auditor is going to bear at the time of doing the audit work, so in that situation it will be in the addition to his normal audit work. So he will be paid additional for the expenses which is made by him. Then after, if in any other situation, if there is a change in the remuneration of auditor, then definitely the organization is required to pass a special resolution, and in that resolution the remuneration will be paid to the auditor. So that's all about auditor's remuneration. Then after we'll discuss about status of an auditor. Yes, as we all know that auditor is a third person. Auditor is not the part of our organization. Organization appoints auditor. The main reason is that for a verification and valuations of each and every books of accounts in a proper manner, so that company knows about the actual financial picture or financial position of their own organization. And shareholders thinks that auditor, on the behalf of shareholders, auditor is working as a watchdog for him. Auditor will see each and every transaction in a precise manner, so that in any case the benefits of the shareholders will not be foregone by the organization. And at the time of dividend distribution, they need to think about in a proper manner that the interest of shareholders will be maximized. So there are various two types of status of an auditor. In that first one, auditor working as an agent of the shareholders. Yes, as we all know that shareholders have a right to appoint auditor of the organization, because shareholders are not able to see the working style of the organization in regular manner. They are not in a capacity to see that how the company is working, how the company is using the finance, what are their investment, how they are using the profit in which manner. So there is a reliable trust on the auditor by the shareholders, because auditor work in the organization in the behalf of the shareholders. And they also want to see that each and every account practices plus each and every trade practices which is done by the organization, it must be in a true and fair manner. When the shareholders appoint the auditor, then they are going to fix the remuneration, as they know that if the auditor gets a proper remuneration, then definitely they will work in a precise manner for them. So, auditor work as an agent of the shareholder, because auditor work in the favor of shareholders. Auditor will see that there must be a proper valuations of each and every assets. The capital budgeting must be done in a proper manner, so that the capital which is provided by the shareholders gets the maximum benefit, gets the maximum usages. So for shareholders, auditor is an agent. Now, second point, auditor as an officer of the company. For the organization and for the management, auditor work as an officer for them. Because as an officer, auditor is going to see each and every financial transaction, each and every accounting matters of the organization, that the employee of the organization have a right. So company give a right to auditor to access the books of accounts and to see that each and every books of accounts must give a true and fair view. When the management do not have a total time to look after each and every department, so organization going to appoint any third person who is not the part of the organization, and when company wants to know that how the work is going to be performed in their absence, in the absence of the organization, mean official members. So for that reason, the company appoints the third person who is going to see the internal control system of the organization, the ethics and moral value of the employees, the status of accounts, and again the treatment in accounts that is done by the accountant. So for the organization, auditor will act as an officer for them, and in a return he is getting the remuneration for the same. So it is not like that auditor is working only on the behalf of shareholders, but auditor is working in the favor of shareholders and in the favor of company themselves. So this is about the status of an auditor. So that's all about our today's session, that is status of auditor.